Welcome to Usability Principles and Practice. This is a new lecture series that's going to teach you all about usability and websites. But most importantly, it's looking at your users, understanding their needs, understanding how your website does not fit those needs, and then designing the website better. Through applying what I teach during this course, you will produce better websites with more effective results and higher turnover. I'm Chris Parker, I'm a lecturer in UX design at Loughborough University, and I hope you enjoy this course. So what's this video about? This video is introducing you to the module that's coming over the next 13 videos or so. We're going to start today by looking at what is usability. If you're watching this video, you probably have a good idea about usability already. I'm going to take that a bit further to make sure we're all on the same page. We're going to look at the learning outcomes. These are the things that you will learn by the end of this course. And then finally, content preview. I'm going to talk about the content I will be delivering to you over the next few months. This is a really exciting series. I can't wait to get involved with you. If you've got any questions as we go through, please comment on below and say, hey Chris, tell me more about this thing, tell me more about that. I would like to learn this, and I'll get back to you and include it in the upcoming content. So, without further ado, what is usability? Usability is how well users can use the system functionally to achieve their goals. This is intentionally very broad. So your system might be a fighter jet, it might be a nuclear power plant, it might be an online shopping website like Amazon. And your goal could be anything from shooting down the target to buying a video game. Now, in the case of what we're talking about today, it's about websites, and we're going to use lots of fashion examples for buying clothes because that gives us a really interesting canvas to work with. Now, a usual system contributes to the feeling a user has about the system and makes it really good. So if you have an unusable system, your system's poor and people will not achieve their goals, they'll abandon it and you fail. Now, lots of people think, well, it's functionality. I've got the functions there. People can see this and go, yep, I know what I'm doing. But functionality is not enough. It's got to be usable. So people have to be able to easily interact with those functions. So it must be clear, must be easy to understand, must recover from errors, etc. But more than that, you must have a great experience whilst using that website or system. So if you go, well, it lets me achieve my goals, it's easy to do, but I hated it, you're just not going to use it. So it really is all these things together, and you must always keep in mind it is the hard functionality as well as the soft experience. Now, quite often it's about removing barriers to completing a task. Now we'll see on the left, LinkedIn, as it was very recently, it's kind of a bit of a mess. It's not overly clear about what's happening, and those confusions are getting in the way of achieving your goals. On the right is a simple redesign of LinkedIn. It's much simpler, it's clearer. You can get to what you need to do faster. The barriers are removed. This is an example of increasing usability. It's not necessarily radical. It's not necessarily beautiful, although aesthetics comes into it, but it is improved. So what do we want to learn on this course? So we're going to have 4 key areas. We'll look at the knowledge and understanding you'll gain. We'll look at the intellectual skills you'll gain. We'll look at the practical skills you'll gain. And looking at the transferable skills you'll be able to take and apply to everything you do in a wide range of contexts. So, knowledge and understanding. You will be able to describe why user evaluations are essential for uncovering usability and accessibility issues. In that, it's not just you thinking, it's you knowing and you doing. You will outline the psychological principles that influence the user interface's usability. So the mind, how the mind reacts with what you're doing. You'll recognize the fundamentals of user interface design, including responsive layouts. So how do you design an effective website? Intellectual skills. What's happening in your mind, your knowledge, your academic areas. You'll be able to justify the use of user evaluation methods for investigation of diverse usability scenarios. So we're not just looking at one situation of fashion websites, we're not just looking at websites and all, we're looking at a wide range. Even though a lot of things will focus on websites, you can apply it to all kinds of areas. You'll analyse qualitative and quantitative user evaluation data to infer usability issues. So we have data, could be interviews, could be surveys, could be quantitative numbers, and we'll mine that and find and prove what the issues are. Appraise existing user interfaces for accessibility issues guided by industry best practice guidelines. So you can look at a website and go, I know people can't use this because. It might be something about colours, maybe font size, could be anything. We'll look into this soon. We'll compare multiple user interfaces to contextualise usability assessment. So we're going to look at a wide range and say, why is this good? How does it compare to that? Practical skills, what you'll be able to do. You'll be able to prepare a series of user evaluation tests to investigate a website's usability. You'll be able to conduct rigorous and professional user evaluations in the context of redesigning a website and improving its business performance. So it's not just going, oh, it works better, people like it. It's working better to achieve the business goals. We'll iteratively redesign existing website interfaces guided by identified usability issues. So actually, how do you design? How do you work the process of first design, test, redesign it again, test again, and keep building upon this until you hit a great goal? But remember, a website is always a prototype, you're always iterative, you're always one step away from the next. It's never finished. And finally, what can you bring to the wider range? So, you'll be able to justify design decisions in the context of usability, accessibility, and business advantage. So when you're saying needs to be done and redesigned, you say why. You'll be able to operate use testing environments at a professional level of rigour and accountability. So you're not just digging into it at an amateur level, you are going to teach you how to work professionally. And you'll prepare a comprehensive usability evaluation report to document and justify design proposals. So you're going to go to your boss and say, we need to redesign this. This is how you do it. This is what's missing. So how do you persuade it? How do you package it all together? This is the stuff we'll be covering. So that's the transferable skills. That's what you're going to be learning, but what will we do? How will I teach you this stuff? So I'm going to break it down now. We're going to look at these tasks week by week. So firstly, what is usability and accessibility? Then how do you conduct an expert review? What role do biometrics, our body's motions, our body's signals play in this system? How do we assess user satisfaction? How do we assess a website's performance? And then how do we design an effective navigation structure that works upon expert reviews, biometric input, user satisfaction, and website performance? We design based on this. Then we take a step aside and think about how the mind works, understand the deep psychology, and then how psychology works with usability and website design. We'll dive further into this in saying, how can we use dark UX to create really great and usable websites? We think about business roles, how a website has to achieve in business, and the role usability and accessibility plays in helping business achieve those roles. Then finally, we'll go beyond screens, beyond websites, beyond smartphones, into voice systems, into virtual reality, into augmented reality, into a whole load of things to see how all these principles, how this theory and practice applies to a widest range of possible interfaces, possibly even interfaces we've not even seen yet. So, if you found this enjoyable and you're excited about the course like I am, please like, comment and subscribe, and look forward to new videos coming imminently.